Howdy. So I was just sitting here taking a break from flight simming and watching a video from BP Earthwatch, and it prompted me to make this video. And I've talked about this on the show occasionally, but I wanted to take a moment and make its own separate video because, boy, there just sure are a lot of dots that people I don't feel they're connecting. And I think that's a disservice to everyone and everything, to be real honest. So what am I talking about? Well, I want to talk about the student loan thing. Of course, it's something that definitely gets opinions going, tensions high, and everything else. Well, I want to talk about it without all the emotion for a moment. And I was sitting here, I was listening to BP's video, and I was thinking back of 2008, namely. And, of course, I remember the whole housing market deal quite well. Just craziness, right? Okay, so the banks were giving loans, home loans, to people that shouldn't have had home loans. These were people that there was no way in hell that they were going to be able to repay that home loan. The bank was lending the money anyway. And, it didn't take real long before all the bad loan debt had added up. And next thing you knew, we wound up in the 2008 banking fiasco, in which the mortgage lenders, what happened to them? They got bailed out. They got bailed out by the government. Okay? It was a bank bailout, right? And people raised hell, and they did this, that, the other thing, and just shoved everything under the rug and down the road, right? And I sat there and I look at what happens, or what has happened in this student loan debacle, and I see the exact same thing by the exact same bad actors, essentially. So what happened was you had the banks that moved away from the home loan sector because they, got burned. They burned themselves. However you want to look at that. Well, they did. They came out just perfectly fine. So I wouldn't consider that a fail on their part. That's for sure. But, obviously they were going to have to tighten up loan restrictions on home loans and stuff and play by the numbers for a little bit. But what they did is they just went to the student loan market. And they did the same thing to the kids of the parents that they screwed over in the housing market. You follow me? First, they did it to the parents with the housing crisis. Now they're doing it to the kids with the student loan crisis. It's the same situation. You have banks, lenders that were lending money to people knowing full well that there was no way that was going to be achievable to pay back. And hey, those that did manage it, great. But for the most part, nah. They didn't even expect all those kids to pay back those loans. Just like they didn't expect all their parents to pay back the loans for the homes. It's the same thing. And all of this nonsense with the government stepping in to relieve this debt loan burden and all of that stuff. Folks, stop letting them change the names of things. Stop letting them, sucker you into stuff just by changing the name. Okay? Student loan forgiveness is a bank bailout. It's the same thing all over again. It's the exact same thing. And my advice would be to anybody that gets all welled up over this subject is, number one, get a clue and calm down. And number two, understand that these kids, just like the adults that took part in the home loan debacle, they were taken advantage of. Now, who were they taking advantage of? By? That's right. The people from our generation and older. Gen X and boomers are the ones that have not once now, but twice put this country in one hell of a financial turmoil. Twice now. And it was able to be done both times because of the deregulation of banks. And I'll leave that for what it is. Shalom.